Alright, so here we go, chat. I have never attempted this Epic Reaper, so we're doing it live. You get to watch it with me. Will it be catastrophic fail or will it be epic win? That starts here. Alright. And then we, of course, will do our standard procedure. First thing I will actually get her blurry, even though she's... Oh, that's interesting. Not sure why that's happening. Get my shield up. Yell about it. Magic Fang about it. Getting angry about it. Now let's go kill some guys.
Somewhere farther in,
So these guys are not a huge crisis. It's okay. They're going to come in, and then I'm going to say hello. Dire charge.
freshly constructed woodwork spirals up into the glacier. Clearly, the Netherese and their minions have not been idle.
Music is actually kind of dramatic. I haven't really been paying attention to it before, but it is fairly dramatic, fairly kind of Final Fantasy-esque. Oh.
You have found an ornate jeweled key. It must be useful to the Netherese, somehow.
The handy AoE. Alright. So now that I'm done with Barbarian Lives, I am just finally figuring out how Fury of the Wild works, which is pretty much par for the course with me. We go over here.
The massive shape of the Mythalar has been almost fully excavated.
So the most dangerous thing down here is actually her. So we've got her taken care of. These guys, of course, made the bad life choice of being weak against fire damage. And they're going to take a beating. Now, as you can see, this was not particularly hot back in the day. Coming through here, this is where most people did the invisible run. You ran right past these guys, because if you did not, it was going to turn into a gong show. You can see they're very tough. Unfortunately, we've got enough DPS to kind of slog through it here. So I do long for the day when we finally get the Frost Giant Hunter for the monster manual so that I can see how many hit points these guys actually have. Another yell. Man, that heal with the yell is just, that's a very good time. That does make me glad about my Death Warden, because the Death Warden is actually buffing my heals, so these guys are no big thing. Okay. of there.
You have found your way into the heart of the
I just don't even
glacier.
need to stop here. There's no point. Alright, so now we're at the next level.
Light plays off the walls on the path ahead. You must not be far from the surface.
So occasionally, if you look around, you can find Orifon before you actually get there, and it saves you time grief trying to suss them out. It's not a huge crisis, but it does save you some time. It's down here. And you can also find the crests if you're lucky. It doesn't seem like it's down there yet. And you can hear the snoring noise, and that snoring noise is your indication that there's a pseudo dragon nearby.
A Netherese orb floats beside a barrier, almost as if the two are linked.
This guy's just straight up annoying. What the heck is hitting me? What the heck just happened there? Oh, you. Again. Where did he come from? That was very fortunate. I got bailed out by the unconsciousness range there.
These two golden orbs are clearly more sophisticated than the one by the door.
Saying I got me a dragon hunter for that. Right, EMD.
A barrier has been successfully dropped. A barrier goes down with an angry and ominous snap. A barrier goes down with an angry and ominous. A barrier goes down with an angry and ominous snap.
Alright, well, whatever.
A barrier has been successfully dropped. A barrier has been successfully dropped. A barrier goes down with an angry and ominous snap.
Sure, I did parkour, okay. He fights for Char, but does Char fight for him? I'm thinking no.
Hidden behind a banner at the back of the cell is a gold Netherese orb. Curiously, there is a small silver keyhole in its side.
I guess I'm just gonna grab these because they will pay for my repairs. Docent, I don't really need that, but whatever. And again, I kind of feel bad about these obelisks. I feel like maybe, okay, we needed that. I feel like they're probably worth taking. I should take those as a souvenir, but where is Orifon, do you suppose? So that's the silver key we were looking for. And again, that's an optional. Normally I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't grab this optional, but why not? I'm on stream. Let's do it for the masses, right? The trick here is I gotta find Orifon, who's guys just do what you're doing over there.
There you are. Right. We don't have a moment to spare.
So he was down here the whole time. Yeah. Excuse me.
Good, you found the crest. When the coast is clear, we'll meet by the Mythallar Chamber's barrier.
So I'll have to come in here and get these guys cleaned up. Goes Orphon. I feel kind of bad about this, but... So this is the actual gate we can take down. So what we do, we smash this, and we come over here, and there's the elaborate control orb. We unlock it with the silver key.
It fits neatly into the Netherese orb. Somewhere nearby, a barrier has fallen.
And in here will be a shade.
Long fingers of darkness pour out from the former cell. A shade in her retina.
Okay, they waited exactly long enough to not get tagged. And again, for whatever reason, shades count as a humanoid. They're not a... I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. They certainly don't count as humanoid. They don't count as human, I should say, because I would see their hit points if they did. Again, not particularly threatening, but at the same time, they take a long time to grind down. But on the bright side, at least we can... So you can see that I don't understand how that works, because what True Seeing is supposed to basically negate that, which I do have. So I'm not sure why I'm not seeing through the concealment.
As the shade falls, something shatters in the cell she came from. A small, jeweled key tinkles to the ground. You have the crest. Well, what are you waiting for?
So now we have 2 jeweled keys,
After you.
which means that we can open two of the chests at the end.
And it seems the spell to awaken it has already begun. Go on. I'll guard your back.
Oh, thanks, Chief. You're an officer and a gentleman.
The head wizard Zelagat speaks without breaking her part in the spell.
Now, again, different people have different ways of doing this as well. Some of them wait this out and they just don't bother. Because I believe you can just kind of hang around by the door and eventually they just don't come. But as you can see, they're not terribly threatening even as they are now. So we're going to be seeing that guy soon.
Says Zelagat.
I can finish the spell once I'm dead.
Concerned about these guys. Of course, it's again all the fun reapers and self-healing mobs.
You think you have stopped us? Zelagat curses with her dying breath. You have only hastened Cormir's demise. We were a bit late to stop the spell, I'm afraid. But look up. One of the marvels of antiquity, alive before our eyes. Now, we must not lose hope. We live yet. And as my uncle always says, a hunt silver never quits the chase.
I don't really need clickies. I haven't used any yet. So, this is where it gets dicey now.
By cold whipping winds and the bright.
As you can see, it looks amazing, right?
Has taken to the air.
Better go up there. So now you have to be careful out here because you can fall off and die.
Battlements of an entire
So,
cover the glacier.
basically what we're going to do out here is be very careful, and you have to be extremely careful with my fire charges as well, because I can, again, you can charge off into oblivion. So I'm just being super careful with where these things are, because you're never 100% certain where the breakpoints are, because there are like gaps in the ice, and you can fall through. So like, say these guys are coming down this side, I would not have come down this side, but it does provide a nice choke point, and I will take it if they want to come all the way through here and just charge through here. Get butchered. I am fine with that too. Again, don't like being that close to the edge, because I have like fallen off stupid, and there's no recovery. Like you can't like find or grab something underneath or whatever. You're just falling straight to your death, even with feather fall. It's an auto death, right? So like situations like this where there's that little gap there, and it doesn't look like anything until you're running around in circles and you step off of it. This is actually less problematic as a melee because you're not moving around as much. On range tunes and stuff, you have a problem because you're constantly jockeying for angle, and as you can see, there's a lot of these guys out here. They are coming at you in droves, but then they do stuff like this, and they just bunch up in a nice tight little ball, and then you're like, first off, you lose your mouse pointer, and then you're like, alright, so I'll do this, and then I'll do this. Hopefully a bunch of these guys are going to fall down, which is great. Okay, let's make a few more heals off. Ubiquitous hamstring, which apparently you just get to live with as a permanent debuff after level 25. Okay, so that worked out pretty well. And again, I don't know why it gotta be moving. Sometimes it just doesn't go off. It's bizarre. So okay, that's going pretty well. Going pretty well. Get rid of this guy. Actually, exactly as my rage runs out. Let's just double check my buffs. I'll redo my apparently I still don't have blur, which I find surprising, but here we are. And you can't magic Phantom Wand. Not sure how I didn't have blur, but I don't know. Breakables. Oh, okay. You dropped like a rock. Again, people are always leery, especially of drawbridges in DDO. They have a nasty habit of not materializing when you get to fall through to your untimely death. It's not a terrible position to be at. These guys. Knock a few of these jokers down. That facilitates the process significantly. Whew. Okay, it's kind of rough. Yell about it. Not sure what I just picked up there. 5 potions or something.
Barrier secures a storeroom. Full the magic barrier to the amid the storeroom's clutter are 4 ornate chests, each with a jeweled key.
Okay. I got a plasmatic cloak. I guess am I at the platinum cap again? Can't get these ones because they're locked. So what was that? What was that cloak? Is that anything good? Acid absorption wizardry. It's worse things in the world than acid absorption. Here you gotta be careful as well. There's a bunch of garbage shade archive that drop from the ledge above, which you don't really notice until that ledge up there. That is where they come from. They will continue to come for a significant and depressing period of time. I believe until you kill her and then they stop. Not sure how many they drop off of this ledge over here. So anyway, usually what I do is I just kind of hang around until I stop seeing them. So we're not out of the woods yet, chat. Because now we get to... There's the shrine here, so that's good. Bring our girl over here and park her. So we have broken enough stuff to achieve maximum learning, however... Safe and sorry.
Well, you again. Do you like my flying glacier? It would have been much prettier if you hadn't wrecked my comrade's spell and lodged the Mythala here. Despite the nuisance, my invasion still flies. And now, you would become its first victims.
So this is where we're not out of the woods yet. Is that up here there's just circus of trash spawns that just keep coming and coming and coming. They never stop. And they get progressively more obnoxious.
At my disposal. I am more than
That was a really unfortunate time for my rage to run out. Fortunately, rage also gets me another heal, so I'm okay with that.
here we are. Time
So
to move.
he finally showed up. So actually, because we're on Epic Reaper, it's actually taking long enough to kind of progress the way the story is designed.
That's what you are. Don't you realize there is an entire army on this glacier?
Be careful because he spawns these clowns. And these clowns. So you get the idea is you got to chop down these light pillars. And that can take a minute. Normally, you have somebody who's on dedicated duty for these, they chop these down. And then other people just kind of run in circles sweeping the trash while your lumberjack takes those out. But since it's just me, fortunately I brought a big axe. And you want to make sure you get rid of these guys. If you see any of these guys with a brown, you want to make sure that they stay gone. Did my death ward run out? That's losing my mouse is definitely obnoxious. It's one of those sort of because again, they don't a lot of the UI elements don't scale, and that's frustrating.
How about here?
But yeah, on heroic, a lot of the stuff can happen so quickly now that like the whole story kind of doesn't break, but it becomes sort of disjointed because he's talking about things that happened 5 minutes ago, and so this actually happens slowly enough that the story sort of falls through and makes a little bit more sense. Again, these blackguards are not a huge crisis. He,
Leave you to my minions then.
yes, he counts as a human. I can see his hit points. Not sure if I'm full rage about this yet.
Here we are.
So as you can imagine, this would have taken a very long time with the old weapons. I'm beating on this thing with a legendary weapon. You can see how long it's taking. just gonna go ahead and stand over here while she does that. But he's actually teleporting around, and that would be one of the things that people would be doing, is they would be chasing him around, beat him up while that was going on. But I'm doing this, but we'll see. There's only one of me, so only one of those things can be happening at any given time. My rage just ran out. Cool. So all the flight pillars are destroyed. That's the one objective. Defeat the Wizard Hamscar. So now I gotta like chase him down. He's gonna be running around somewhere, and I gotta find him. So. More fun than teleporting monsters. Nothing.
Time to move.
Also, the other idiots are running around spamming power word stun and stuff.
Bah, still standing? Really? I don't know why you even try. You are trying my patience. Enough with the pleasant.
Okay, so we did get him to the next phase.
The fury of Netheril shall fall upon you.
And this is Shadowfell BS. And this is what most of the Shadowfell looked like, and this is what why people hated it so passionately. It was this pink environment that was just miserable to see. Also bear in mind that I can still fall off. It's still the main map, so I can still fall through the cracks in the ice, literally. So I have to be super duper extra careful.
Deal with you myself.
Nice power word stun from nowhere. So what we have to do is we have to circle around, we have to find the other shadow bar. And I'm hoping to do that without, as you can see, these guys are a little bit difficult to see in the pink poo. Dizzying chain and exhausted. Ooh, see, gotta be careful. It's always best to kind of stick to the outside edge near these pillars, where you're at least less likely to fall off into a crack. Because again, see, like right there, that's a very precarious place to be. Make it my... Ooh, there's Hamscar, so I'll go over here and get him beat down. Because once he dies, it's basically over. So it's kind of unfortunate that disappeared. Of course he did. Again, watch for the cracks. These people hated this so much. This was a deeply unpopular mechanic. Alright, so I knocked her down. That's excellent. And as you can see, they tend to have terrible balance scores and don't stand up very quickly. She will run like a scared jackrabbit right to the edge. Oh, God, a Plague Reaper. Man, this is just When it rains, it pours, chat. So get rid of this Joker as quickly as we can. Right. So it's fairly safe if you see them standing somewhere, you can kind of go directly to where they are, but always gotta have to kind of tiptoe around. Meteor Swarm, that means Amscar's around here somewhere. So once we kill 4 Shadowvar, then we can go back to the real world. Again, they can be problematic to find. So I was hoping not to fight this Famine Reaper, but okay, that was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Okay, I gotta be super, super careful. As you see, they all go right to the edges. Go. Just lie down and stay down, please. This should take us back to the real world. There we go.
Bah! I could keep this glacier floating myself. I think this has gone far enough. Do I need to come down there and finish you myself?
I am unsure of whether or not I'm actually still raging, so I guess we're going to find out in a second.
How about here?
Nope, I'm still raging. So where is he? There he is. At least now I can see where I'm going. Just continue to fall down. That's just kind of a weird bug where they just continue to fall down no matter how long ago you chopped them. Just be super duper careful because he's gonna play right near the edges. I'm not sure what his breakpoints are before he teleports.
My invasion! Falling out of the sky! You have paid with your lives, as I.
Without the Mithalar's power, the flying glacier plummets out of the sky.
Run, my friends! Jump while you can!
Okay.
Well, that was a narrow escape. What's that? Over there, look!
Did we get it, Chop?
been averted by you, by me, for honor and for the crown.
And there it is. We did it, chap. Got us all the way to cap. All right. So I can't take any of the money because I'm at plat cap. And not a single named item for all that BS.